Childhood toys. Now, growing up in the 2010s era, I think it's safe to say that we all grew up with some pretty awesome toys. A lot of them being so memorable that we still remember them to this day. You have timeless toys like Lego Star Wars that are still as popular today as they were back then, and then other toys like Silly Bands that were nothing but a trend for the time and later dissolved into nothingness. Now, when I say some of these toys were popular at the time, I'm talking like the Backstreet Boys and One Direction of toys. Everyone was rocking these. I think we just had it the best for childhood toys though. Like, I refuse to believe that anybody in 10 years is going to think back and go, do you remember when we used to play with our poopsie slime surprise? Like, nah, bro, shut your bitch. Like, what in the hell even is a magic mixie? After seeing some of the awful toys that are being produced nowadays, I thought, why not make a video about toys that Gen Z grew up with? And what better way to start this video off than to talk about Beyblade? Man, Beyblades at the time were so popular. I remember every recess at school, me and my friends would go outside and rip some Beyblades, you know? We would go into one corner of the playground and get the spinners ready for a truly wondrous battle. The way you would typically use Beyblades is it came with the Beyblade itself, you know, the thing that would spin around, and it also came with this little ripper thing. Now, with the little ripper thing, in order to send it spinning, it came with this little plastic string hoop thing that you would then have to pull or rip in order to send the Beyblade spinning and clashing into one another. Hence the name of their little slogan, Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip! Now, although you could use the ground for you and your friends to have Beyblade battles on, that typically wasn't the best option because they would a lot of the time just move away from each other since there wasn't really an enclosed quarter, which is where we introduce the arena. Now, there was always that one homie, Jesus Christ. There was always that one bro who would pull up to school with the officially licensed Beyblade Arena. Now, the Beyblade Arena was literally just a plastic bowl, and I'm not even joking, like, Tupperware containers were made of better quality plastic than those toys were. But again, nobody really cared at the time because we were kids, and because, again, it was still an enclosed space for our Beyblades to battle with. This is a toy that was so popular at the time, and it even had its own TV show. Like, yeah, I don't think you'll ever see Poopsie Slime Surprise ever get its own TV show. Beyblade is goated, and it will forever remain goated. Easy 8 out of 10. Trust me, there's better ones to come. Next up, we got Lego Star Wars. Now, Lego Star Wars is one of those toys that are just as popular now as they were back then. You had classic sets from both the movies and the Clone Wars TV show. And you guys, I have something to admit. I am still a collector of Lego Star Wars to this day. And you know what? I'm proud of it. Lego Star Wars is something that brings me so much happiness, and I know exactly why. Not only is it a collab between one of my favorite movie franchises and favorite toy, but it also brings me so much nostalgia. I didn't want to keep this part too long because there's still so much that we need to cover. Lego Star Wars getting the best score it possibly can. Next up, we have Hexbugs. Hexbugs were these little vibrating robotic bugs that would come on their own. And then after buying that, you would buy these tubes for the Hexbugs to move around in. I don't really know, dude. Essentially making it sort of like this own little robotic ant farm looking thing. Actually, I'm going to be the first to admit it. I did not like Hexbug, and I thought that they were some of the stupidest toys to be invented, even as an 8-year-old child. Not only were they extremely overpriced, like I'm talking, this alone would set you back like $30. But again, that's just for the bug itself. So after paying an outrageous price for this little vibrating pill thing, you had to buy these PVC pipe looking things from the store that were almost double the price of the little bug. But then once you finally set up all of that after spending what, like $50 to $75 on everything total, you need to buy batteries for when the bugs starts to give out. Are you serious? Like, this absolutely has to be some kind of scam, right? And of course they couldn't just be like normal sized batteries. They of course had to be the ones that were like half the size of a Tic Tac. I don't even think I have to mention that the batteries were like an extra $20. That is why I don't like Hexbugs. Oh, but look, it's just a little baby bug. Shut up! It's garbage, waste of time, and a waste of money. 1 out of 10. Next up, we have Pokemon cards. All right, now we're talking. Pokemon cards are something that almost everyone I knew loved. People were trading them left and right and building a collection of cards that you would keep in a binder essentially just to show off to your friends and even family. But let's be honest, no one at home really cared about them. Only the homies understood. But that's what was so great about them. All of your friends would talk about the new cards that were releasing or talking about what they pulled in last night's booster package. Everyone was at peace and loving each other. You know what? Maybe that's how we can bring peace around the world, by giving Pokemon cards to everybody. Now let's all just be honest with ourselves. Nobody actually knew how to play the game, so let's all stop pretending like we really did. Like, I mean, you could try playing the game, but I don't really know why you would do that. I mean, you just pulled this super cool, shiny, fancy looking card, and you're telling me you want to ruin it by slamming it on the ground? Why put them to use when it can sit in a binder for all of eternity? Dude, I'm telling you, Pokemon cards are so goated. Something that makes me happy is knowing that it's still popular today, and there's still a dedicated community to it. Pokemon cards are so good. 9 out of 10. Bakugan. What in the even were these? Okay, let's stop pretending like they were revolutionary, because they weren't. They were cool for like maybe 2.5 weeks. I don't know. These sucked. 1 out of 10. Next up, we got cars. Now, I'm not just talking about Hot Wheels. No. I'm talking about the actual cars. Like the ones from the Disney movie. These were some of the best toys ever to be made, and I truly mean that. I would collect so many of these when I was younger and loved every single one of them. Like, the amount of cars that I had was pretty impressive. I, no joke, had pretty much every character from the first and second movie. Now, those cars were goated, trust me. But let's not forget about Hot Wheels here. Hot Wheels, you had so many more options in both cars and tracks, because for Disney's Cars toys, it needed to be an official licensed, track. But when it came to Hot Wheels, they could just make really whatever you want. Hot Wheels most of the time would come with these huge tracks that you could turn into your own personal race course. They were flexible, so you could turn them into loops and make them drive really in all directions you want. You could make them go all the way around your house if you really had the resources to do so. Hot Wheels cars were also lighter, so again, you could do more with them, because the Disney Cars ones were made of like solid metal, so they were pretty hard to manage. I'm so sorry if I sound awful here. I'm feeling so sick. But I also think I should mention Hot Wheels is just like, dude, it's a franchise. Like, they've made actual Hot Wheels video games. And you know what? I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. I, as an 18-year-old adult, bought the Hot Wheels video games. It was really fun. I honestly loved playing with these cars so much as a kid. But when it comes to nostalgia, the Disney ones, they just hit me more. Cars is still one of my favorite movies to this day. You know what? These toy cars are getting a 10 out of 10. Amazing. Hey, want another video to watch? Click this playlist right here. It has all of my videos. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and to all of my lovely subscribers, I'm really sorry if my voice sounds off. I recorded this entire thing with a really sore throat. My body hurts so bad. Yeah, I hope it wasn't too